Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ETF2L Season 32 Prem Qualifier Upper Bracket Final between torrit.sukintoes and Professional Disney Fangirls. We are TFTV. My name is Grumpy Coy, and I am joined by two wonderful gentlemen. I have Beta, the legend himself, on production, and I have an old friend of mine, Eemes, as my co-caster. How are you doing, Eemes?
I'm pretty good, Grumpy. I'm looking forward to casting my first game of the season. Hopefully many more to come, and this should be a pretty good one, as it's kind of a grudge match, I think, really, since Yak used to play for PDF, has been playing for them for a long time, and now he's on his own team, and they're both, vying to make Prem. Should be a really good game.
Yeah, maybe we'll get CJ actually into Prem. He's been trying. How many seasons has he been trying now? We've seen him in the last, 3 qualifiers, haven't we?
I mean, almost as many as Yak.
Yeah. So both of these guys are going to be looking for a place. How many places are up for grabs? Is it one
There's
or
two?
two?
So,
two,
the winner of this game will go through, and the loser of this game will play the winner of
lower bracket final.
The Frenchies and the other team. And to be honest, the loser of this game is fairly likely to win that game. I had to place a bet on it, but you really want the bragging rights of being the first one to make Prem, making a statement.
Yeah, it's all about landing on your feet and running straight into Prem, especially with this season. Like last season was an absolute powerhouse of a season, and it's looking the same way. So I'm super excited for what's going on. But we've got some map changes and different things we can kind of have a quick natter about. I know you mentioned before, just while we're waiting. So the maps that are going to be played are Gully Wash, Snake Water, and Process Final. But these are your standard. I call them like your mixing maps. You usually play these in like mixes and stuff. But
the pug maps.
Yeah, the pug maps is definitely the best. I'm not good enough to play pugs though, so I only really play mixes. But yeah, one thing we kind of were interested in talking about was Logjam, because Logjam's making a return, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So ETF2L, after at long last, have actually done a community vote, which is pretty cool of them. So people vote on the maps, and well, they've decided that Badlands, the two versions of Badlands that were in the poll, both got lower percentages than Logjam. So Logjam is in, Badlands is out.
How many seasons, Prolands and Badlands has been in for so many seasons, hasn't it?
It's 30 consecutive seasons, apparently. So, yeah, I guess it's been in every single season apart from season 1. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's such a change as well, just having that out of the map pool. But Logjam is nice. It's really wide open mid fight, isn't it? From what I remember, I haven't played it in so long. We were talking. There's a new version out now, isn't there?
Yeah, it seems to have been polished up a little bit more than it was, so that's pretty good. And I mean, it seems to be. It's fairly popular. It was a decent map back in the day, and then it got changed a lot, and people didn't like it anymore. But it continued to get developed, and I think it. Hopefully, if this season people actually commit to trying to play it and get better at it, and then give the developer feedback as well, it could actually become like a properly good map, which is exciting.
Yeah. Well, now we've had our chance to have a little natter about that. Let's talk about these teams. I'm going to run through the first team, which is aptly named torrit.sukintoes. And just to run up that roster, we have Torrit himself, Sucking Toes on Med. And then we have Joseph, or as many of you would have known him as, Yak on Demo. We have Opti and Mathers on Soldiers. Opti is an incredible soldier. He played on Ascent for a bit, didn't he? Is he originally from Top 5 Rocket?
Yeah, I think probably back when it was Top 5 Rocket, but yeah.
I think didn't he play during the season when it was all French?
No. Maybe.
Yeah,
no.
maybe.
Well, you mean the one they went to I-63 with?
No. I think it was season 29 or something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was a point when Opti was playing. When Ascent went through that phase of having all French players?
Yeah.
I think Opti was on that roster. But moving on, we then have Sui return. He hasn't been around for a while, has he, Sui? I haven't seen him as much, especially when it comes to Prem.
I think he's been knocking around Div 1 or 2. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, he last played Prem in the spring season of this year for Omni 5. So he's taken 2 seasons off Prem, but now he's looking to get right back in there with this new roster, which is looking pretty good, I must say.
Yeah. And then rounding out that roster, we have Thomas, who has been flitting around top for a long time. Div 1, and it's nice to see him making the step. And then against them, Yak's old team, Professional Disney Fangirls. Do you want to take it away, Eames?
Sure. So, Professional Disney Fangirls, we have CJ on Medic, known Highlander player. He's been in and around Div 1 for quite a long time. Neon is their new pickup from last season on demo, because obviously they had Yak for quite a long time before that, which is something that makes the game quite interesting. We have, this Ekeland and Toast on Scouts. I think Ekeland is Pocket Scout and he main calls, as far as I'm aware, so he will really be taking a lot of heals and like kind of commanding the whole team. And then we have Bill Jack and Hector Coling on soldiers. So I think actually probably for both teams, the scouts are really the standout players. They're going to be looking to have a lot of impact, and the soldiers are just kind of going in, making some space, and then having their scouts just come in and clean everything up and going with 30 for 10, that kind of thing.
What is happening on the server right now? I think we're having a heavy fight for, I think it's blue team, is it?
Looks like it.
Yeah, we're having a heavy fight. If we can get that on the stream, that'll be a little bit of entertainment whilst you guys are waiting. But yeah, so really, really solid roster teams, I would say. Like both teams have. So
that's a huge win from Thomas, by the way.
Yeah, Thomas just won that.
Claiming, I think, the blue team for his team by a solid 40 HP margin. So fantastic with a Yeti taunt as well afterwards. I don't know if you guys saw the stream, but
they chose red actually. But
okay.
One thing I'd like to say is, there's the Twitter analytics, like Twitter account where they kind of like rate the teams. It's 55% in advantage at the moment to Professional Disney Fangirls.
You mean the TFT metrics website?
Yeah, the metrics. Yeah. It's like I saw that on Twitter. So it is going to be a very close game. I personally think torrit.sukintoes are going to win this one. What's your take on that, really?
I think it's going to be quite interesting because probably you'd say the DM advantage or the experience advantage goes to the team I'm going to refer to as TST throughout because I refuse to say its name. But then again, CJ's team, Professional Disney Fangirls or PDF, have played together for a lot longer. I think the core of the team have played together in Sixes and Highlander for like a year or more. So they're quite methodical. They know what they're doing. They probably are a lot more together. Whereas Yak's style of main calling can be quite erratic. He's going very deep all the time. But as we do see the teams reading up, and this having won the heavy fist fight and chosen red, TST are rolling out to mid on the red side as we see our first mid of the game.
Yeah, so welcome to the Season 32 Prem Qualifiers upper bracket final between TST and PDF. And right now, a lot of high ground taking to both teams. Bob going in for Mathers. He gets airshot completely destroyed there with Toast cleaning up that kill. That's the first frag down, and positioning not looking that great for TST. They've actually lost 4 players, so they're going to have to back out. It's not good for the memes. Oh, Yaks getting down Euclid, but Neon actually chasing, seeing if he can get some damage, but that's going to be the first mid, and they ain't stopping for Professional Disney Fangirls. What's Yak doing?
Yak's going so deep. He gets CJ, that's insane. And he gets Neon. Yak is absolutely pounding. So he got the scout frag to defend his medic, and then as they just kind of dithered around with Neon should have locked off that shot. He should have never been able to get in there, but Yak just goes in for making the huge play. That's the kind of thing you'll see Yak doing a lot, and that's an example of it working really, really well, because Yak has hit his shots and just made a crazy play, but sometimes you're going to see throughout this match, I assume that's going to be kind of a thorn in the side of Yak because he goes a lot too aggressive, but working out very well for him there.
Yeah, and Sweet actually really, really good pressure from him on Big Door, trying to get out Toast. Toast got super low, but he wasn't able to do so. And now TST are actually making a play onto PDF's blue. Mathis leading it in, seeing if they can, CJ right now is a bit
so
trapped.
Out of position.
They're so trapped right now. CJ goes down, Neon super low, drops down, manages to get Thomas, but Toast gets picked up as well. And right now, it's looking very good for the boys in red, TST. They're looking to play on to last. They've got players behind them trying to deal with Neon. Neon's not in a good position. If he goes down, that's probably going to be the round. Yak just walks in, cleans him up. Ekon down as well. CJ and Viljak need to make some sort of hold as Mathis comes in, deals some really good damage at Eemes. The heavy out on Toast. Mathis bombs in, gets cleaned up. Yak's just walking under from Secret onto the point.
That's a huge play from Yak. He's going to get so much damage on the point, but they're hiding under there. Lots of space taken from the red team, but they have actually failed it.
Thomas comes
they
from
okay,
water and cleans that up. So yeah, that was super scrappy by both teams though. It didn't feel very coherent. It felt like a lot of it was, just due to the situation. They could have played that so much better. Just tried to clean up all the players on that right hand side, and they weren't able to do so.
Just really terrible positioning from CJ there, like just getting completely caught by the Uber with no possibility of getting out. We do see them rolling out to the second mid. I'd like to see Mathis get more done with his bomb this time, as last time he got quite easily denied. Opti's weak on the floor. The soldiers, TST, not really getting much done at all, though Mathis will get a kill on Toast, so that's pretty nice. Actually, Colin gets a huge amount of damage, will kill Yak, and
torrit goes down
on both
as well.
sides, but torrit is dead, and they're all so weak on both sides, actually. 2 scouts alive, 1 scout alive for TST. It's 3v1 now. Eklund's going to try and frag out, but he can't. And Mathis, that's actually a huge mid with some very nice rockets to clutch it out for his team there.
Yeah, Opti, really good decision making there. Knew his med was down. He immediately jumped onto CJ, got the frag, and that salvaged it. Once those heals were out, there was a lot of DM in advantage for TST, and that's exactly what they did. They cleaned up the last players, and they managed to win out that mid, but not super convincing, as Toast actually comes in to try and deny Opti. Opti goes super low. Viljak, big bomb onto Choke, not able to deal too much damage as Yak is there on the defense. And right now, Eames, it's looking, they've got the second hold up. Not too bad from professional Disney Fangirls. They're not letting themselves get rolled here.
But it is a 30% advantage from TST, and they're going to be coming in here. CJ will be caught if they... The same mistake as last time, pretty much, but they're going to rotate all the way to mid. Neon's in mid, and Sweet is trying to juke around, but he's probably going to die. And they're actually going to go for the back cap, but it's really not going to work, because they're stacking 5 times per second, and all of Disney Fangirls are caught out. They can just go to last. It's the same mistake as before. It's the exact same mistake.
Oh, this is not good. This is super scrappy from PDF. They need to react quicker to the situation. Like, if they're on a disad situation, they should be able to leave or at least have upper. Like, it was a good decision to hold it, but they should be constantly rotating, making sure that they know that they're getting behind them. And if they're going to commit for a sack like that, Eames, they're going to need to get everybody on point. But we're going into this mid right now. Opti comes in with a big bomb onto Neon, cleans him up very quickly. Mathis takes hold of the nipple, and Toast across point does some good damage. Mathis dropping down, and right now, TST, torrit bit too far, gets cleaned up. Now TST need to salvage this. They do get calling. CJ goes super low. Mathis on the lower grounds. Viljak also getting spammed. And right now it's 2v3 with heals still an advantage for PDF. They're going to get bullied out. And I think this is going to be the first mid. It's the second mid to... Oh, Thomas comes in, picks up the Eklund. 1v1 with Toast, just as I'm about to say it. That is the end of that mid fight.
Yeah.
That was a bit long and scrappy.
It was quite a close 4v4 fight at one point, and then torrit, like his team was a little bit weak, started backing up, and he just sort of didn't, and was just alone on point and just died to spam. So him kind of losing his team in the mid fight there was this really nice force from Opti into the choke on PDF. So 60% advantage for TST. We'll see if they decide to push out here. After I mean, it was kind of I don't know. torrit shouldn't have died there. He just kind of, I think he thought that his team was going to be aggressing and just kind of like played like a few steps too far forward, and then just got spammed down because he was out of position. Yeah,
that was all down to positional. But right now, CJ has used his Uber, and torrit is now in advantage, and they're trying to build it out, keep that positioning, but the Uber is an advantage for TST. And they are moving up to their battlements right now, pushing a lot of pressure.
They're going for the low panda. They're going all the way through lobby. It's only Sui and Yak on last. Yak's going to try and delay them, but he can't really do much. And torrit drops. But they've lost so many players going down for them, with Yak getting 2 frags.
When did torrit drop? I didn't even see that.
I have no idea, to be honest.
That was so scrappy. Like, everyone, that was really well played by PDF just to get that position now where it's back to equal Ubers. But more importantly, they get the drop onto torrit just in that chaos. Like you said, that low panda strat just completely confused.
Well, they needed to distract Yak a bit better, because you can just have one person 1v1 the demo. Even if they lose to him, it means that he's gonna have a much harder time denying all your team from getting through, and you only really need one person to get through to win that. But somehow they didn't, and they just all tried to go through the tiny little hole where Yak piped them all down. So yeah, it was a really nice idea, but the execution didn't really work out for them.
Yeah, I would agree. On that execution point, I feel like both teams have a semblance of idea of what they want to do. but they can't quite execute it with... It must be like a comm problem or something. They need to be able to... You know, the main callers need to be able to micromanage their team in such a way where they can get this control, this positioning. Like, I've seen when you play, you're very good at leading your team into good situations on Or Electro, and it feels like there's a big lacking in both of these teams in that regards.
Yeah, I'd say one of the important differences between a lot of Div 1 teams and the cusp of Prem and like solid Prem teams is like having main calling well and being confident in a lot of different situations which perhaps you might not have seen before. Being able to lead your team even if you have no you really weren't expecting X to happen, but you can find a way to deal with it, and that's probably something that teams with less experienced main callers will struggle with.
Yeah. And right now we are actually at an equal Uber situation. Second to mid. This is the most common stalemate we actually see on this map. And they're looking to get Eklund into a position to actually get a drop or just to get a pick with that sniper class. And they're currently doing it in Big Door. Yak spamming but making sure that his head doesn't pop out too much as he is spamming right now. Sui actually pressing them quite aggressively. Going to get cleaned up. And this is a good sack opportunity, or, you know, just a lot of pressure can come out of PDF right now as they have got that one-player advantage, and I think that's exactly what they're going to try and do in Big Door.
I'm not a huge fan of their decision to have only Neon in Choke and having both soldiers in Big Door, because really the demo is the best. Even though you're kind of trying to push aggressively here, the demo is still the best person at locking out Big Door, so I kind of don't like that decision not to have Neon on the beam. But Eklund will die on Sniper. They get pushed out quite aggressively by TST. It's just kind of an exchange of spam. They're just kind of resetting now. Although Neon will get a pick at Choke, so that could open things up.
Yeah, just another opportunity for PDF to make a play. And Colin's going to go in onto Torrit. Does get the force. Really nice jumps from him. He's still alive. Trying to skill stick someone who is Ubered, but he's done that distraction. CJ juking Tomas really nice. He doesn't even use. Good trust in his team. And right now, full Uber advantage for CJ and the rest of PDF.
They're trying to wrap them through Choke here. This is actually insane. Yak's going so aggressive. He will die to Neon, so that's really nice from him holding down the Choke. He might die to Sui. They're going to be trying to play for the back cap. It's pretty much the same situation as before. They're making the same mistake the PDF did. Mathers and Torrit are caught behind and they're just going to get crushed here, surely.
Yeah, as they do, all of those players get cleaned up really nicely from Colin to come through Choke and clean up that player. And right now, Billjack going in through straight onto point, just no nonsense there. Onto Yak. Yak is super low. One more rocket will clean him up, but it ends up Billjack going down. And a very passive PDF, because they've lost 3 players, are going to have to hold in Big Door right now.
It's just, this is really weird to see both teams just sort of not recognizing that you need to be up top or in lobby if you have disadvantage on second and gully wash, because that's how the map works. Otherwise you're caught in and you will die to the Uber if the enemy uses it correctly. At least you should have to be on top of point so you can walk out top like fairly quickly. But if you're just on the
Billjack! What a bomb coming out of Billjack!
Yeah.
He gets the sack onto Torrit. This is again good. He's just building that advantage for CJ. But whilst that's happening, they went under. They did the low path and did it.
They did.
Woo.
Here's me talking about, you know, positioning theory and that kind of thing, and PDF are just going to go ahead and win the rounds, and that's pretty nice from them. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that was really good, reading the situation from them. They were able to get the sack onto the med. I didn't even see them slink under. This has been so scrappy from TST in certain situations, and PDF finally able to punish them. We're coming into this 4th mid right now, and right now Yak's just getting pressured so hard. He goes to 3 HP. He's going to be out of the fight for a long time. And look at this positioning from PDF.
Oh, huge run from Matt. Oh, that's so much crazy damage.
Oh my god, the damage! Damn. That was 5 players
Eklund
in like 8 seconds.
That's actually really clutch from Eklund.
How many people did, like they must have all died to the same rocket. Like look at that respawn queue.
Yeah.
All exactly the same time.
Mathis bombed in from left and just no one saw him. So he got onto the demo and Soldier just completely for free, got like 2 or 3 rockets off. And I think maybe Opti went dropped out. Maybe Opti went left, Mathis went right. And either way, you know, just fantastic coordination. They crunched them.
And right now, TST have got Opti in water. No one on the side of PDF is actually aware of this. So they've got that opportunity for a quick distraction when they need to push in. And Uber is slightly an advantage on CJ right now, as Torrit must have gone down during that mid. I do believe he did. and it's gonna be just a bit of a spam game. Tomas actually gets bullied out, but Mathis goes in for the play, just gets completely destroyed. But Opti comes in, uses the distraction and gets CJ. That is perfect. Coming out of water, no one expected him. That was really well done.
It's true that no one expected him, but you know what? Doesn't care about expectations at all. It's a sentry gun, and normally that would just completely deny Opti. But for some reason, Toast had it positioned all the way in spawn, so it didn't cover CJ at all. So he just got us bombed and killed. It's really unfortunate as Yak comes in aggressively with the Uber. Sentry still hasn't gone down. It's actually going to kill Tomas, so that's pretty bad. And Yak trying to hold off the top right, but he's really got not enough ammo to do so. The Heavy's walking back in. It's kind of a beef push, just not even having any idea that the sentry gun was there.
Yeah, they weren't able to clean it up. They didn't even damage it. Like, Toast just switched off onto the mobile sentry, the Pudis. And now they're going to be setting up again for their last. Opti again in the exact same position he was last time. So he's playing that again. And it looks like TST are just going to be holding passive, trying to get their Uber up. Uber advantage is still an advantage for CJ. So it's not too great for TST. They may get some pressure on them, but they're rotating up to River right now. Eemes, what do you think TST really need to do to try and get this back an advantage?
Well, at the moment they're trying to pressure under, get some nice point play with it. What they really need to do before they do anything is get the sentry, because if they really want to get any sacks onto CJ, then the sentry is going to completely deny them. Yak's having a go at spamming it right now, but they're not really getting much on. They're actually going to just Uber straight in, which is kind of insane because the sentry's still not dead. CJ pops really early there. If he'd have milked that, they could have done a lot more of this Uber. They will kill Tomas, and Opti's going to go down as well now. So this could, I think really the plan there seems to be from TST to just bait a push out, which they haven't done successfully, and they just kind of left. So
yeah, I feel like it was all down to Yak trying to get people holding in, coming through River. They were just going to hold there and spam whoever came, but they only got Viljak as a response, so he probably called that was the play. And now things are just flipping back to an equal Uber situation where Tomas is actually playing Spy right now.
Yeah.
Is he checking? Or is he... No, he's in secret.
Yeah, okay. So I could probably see a point play for him maybe, or maybe he's going to go for CJ. I wonder. But, I mean, really, going back to that Uber, I think CJ could have mugged for a lot longer. Like, he didn't even really have to pop. Like, it was such a terrible, terrible Uber, just trying to go 2 sollies into a gun that they didn't get down for about 5 or 6 seconds. So I would have liked, particularly as they're on last, they were trying to get something to get them out of this round, out of last, and into the round, I suppose. I know he had a good opportunity to try and make something happen there, but he didn't. He just popped.
Yeah, I think it's kind of just it's kind of good pressure, but it's also sort of the panic situation you're in, and that's as soon as the sentry gun went down, I felt like CJ had the mentality of, well, I've got to use this Uber now, or we could risk dropping players now that they haven't got that pressure on them. But it's a lot of spamming. The sentry gun is going to be rebuilt on the under the pillar, but Opti actually goes in. Not going to get. Oh no! Just gets smashed.
That was a horrendous
though. Yeah, they must have been well aware of that spy because they had no problem dealing with it. But now the 4 players left on TST are going to have to deal with Eklund going straight into them. Ubers have been exchanged, and it's looking a lot better for TST. CJ just manages to get out, but the pressure is on from TST. They get double kill. Right now, this is looking good. Toast going down as well. They just need to kill those players. Neon goes down behind the point. They all come up, and that's 3-2 to TST.
That's just a bit of a mistake from PDF there. Like, if the enemy team is just going to hold River 4v6 like that, all you need to do is just go into the rest of the map and take all the space. But instead they tried to go straight into them in River, and that's going straight into a demo in a very, very small area, which will never really work. You did, yes. I think Mathis might have been getting ready for a panic attack sack or something, I don't know. But yeah, he hit some nice rockets in that last bit. As Obby's going to go very aggressive onto the demo here, but he will not get to him. There's one soldier down. Toast will die on the other side. Man, Actor Collins about to go drop down. He's going to get some huge damage here if he doesn't get seen. Yeah, he gets lots of rockets. CJ will go down. Torrit's weak. Torrit. Oh my god, that's huge actually from Neon.
Yeah, CJ's still alive, but
yeah,
Torrit's down.
I meant Torrit, yeah.
Yeah, and that was very, very well played by PDF there. They dealt with everything that was thrown at them. Specifically, Obti was the main thing that was thrown at them, and they dealt with him really well. and they started to clean up players, only losing the one. Viljack having a battle with Sui right now, doesn't really want to stay there too long because he may get caught out, and things in advantage for PDF. They're going through main, they're going to take the Uber in on Eklund, they're going to try and deal with the
Yak's caught off here.
Yeah, the demo first, but they get the sentry as well, and they've got some good point presence right now. They're able to get onto it, but all the players are sacking from TST, but they're going to get cleaned up, and that's going to be a very quick round coming out of PDF team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why Yak is there. It's just crazy aggressive positioning from him. He's just like, I don't care that you have an Uber, I'm just going to stand at shutter. So he died like very quickly to Eklund. Didn't even try to jump out. So it was really poor last defense from him. But yeah, let's. Last mid, it was Actor Calling making a huge play up drop down. See what happens this time.
Yeah, Opti actually goes towards the enemy drop down on the 6th mid. A lot of spam coming out. Calling actually ends up trading with Opti, but Mathis goes in big bomb, separates Neon from the team, but no one is able to help him. And now things are not looking too great. Both soldiers down for TST. They're going to have to start backing out. Sui is trapped in. He's trying to deal with Toast, going to get cleaned up. And not really that great of a situation from TST there. PDF handling them very, very cleanly.
Yeah, you see a lot of. I mean, PDF have some quite nice, like, clean plays sometimes, which are working out pretty well. But I think most of the time when they get into difficulties, when they get into a situation they're not quite familiar with, and then they probably make a few mistakes in their decision making, and which costs them. But like that, they seem to have a pretty good plan for it, and just execute it perfectly. Got one pick and then snowballed it. Pretty nice play.
Yeah, and right now equal Uber opportunities for both teams, but Eklund actually did go down, so there may be some sort of play coming out of Tomas as they're trying to get him into battlements on that sniper to see if he can do something. But Viljack and Sui will trade. Yeah, it's going to be very stalematey right now as they're trying to just see angles. We've got a hold from CJ quite nicely in Big Door. It's going to be very hard to get any sort of angle on him for Tomas.
Yeah, I mean, TSD playing quite aggressive in River here, given that they're winning and they don't really need to do anything. It's even numbers. They have actually backed out now. So yeah, we'll just be. What is PDF's plan to break this stalemate?
Right now, in my opinion, it just looks like they're just trying to get into lobby and maybe doing like a double soldier sack or getting Eklund into a good position. So we're going to see a lot of rotations out of them. Going to see them go towards River. Going to see them try and see if they can do anything off launchpad. But right now they're trying for the River play, and good positioning from Torrit. He's not easy to hit actually at all because he's just basically in spawn buffing Tomas.
Well, this is interesting because Torrit is impossible to hit here, right? But I mean, TST don't really have a single defensive off-class up, other than a sniper in spawn. And this really means there's so much space for like pretty much anyone to just do a dry push or just get in from PDF. But they should be recognizing this, that there's no sentry. They have so much space to work with. They can actually play really quite aggressive here.
Yak's very far forward as well. Yak's actually playing very far forward, nowhere near Heels. Like Heels is starting to come out now. They're going to be looking for it. I think Eklund manages to get Opti actually, so that's a somewhat good play. He's looking for an angle from main. He tries to hit onto Torrit, not able to do so, but good rotations out of him. But Toast under, maybe able to bait point. He gets spotted by Mathis though, so he's going to get spammed on very quickly. And Tomas on the pyro now goes down very quickly. But that's 2 players down for PDF. They're going to have to start backing out, and we're going to see some pressure coming out of TST.
Yeah. We'll see if TST actually decide to do anything of this. It'll be very ill-advised if they do, but they do seem to be quite a kind of cavalier, aggressive team at the moment. Although, they are going to head back to last. But I'm continuing really not to like the decision of them not to have a sentry. You're in a stalemate last hold. You should have a sentry. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it just seems like they just want to play around Tomas right now, hope he gets a pick on someone trying to peek him. But CJ is going to be playing, as passively as possible to not get caught by those angles. So it's all really down to the ball's like totally in PDF's court right now.
Yeah, definitely. As Eklund looks like he's trying to set up for a hero shot from River, then no, he's going to rotate back to lobby. I mean, basically PDF just need to spot out these things. I mean, if they could actually take a good look at the hold that TST have, they could really notice the vast amount of flaws in it, but they just haven't seemed to be able to like think about it. Have someone say, okay, this is the flaw in it, this is the weakness, let's exploit it in this way. Okay, currently they're looking for... Eklund's got a nice pick onto Sweet, so that could open things up.
Yeah, maybe looking at maybe sacking Colin or Viljack. Actually, Thomas goes down, so that's 2 picks, so we should be seeing some sort of play or dry push. That's a 3rd player down. They're going to get the force very quickly onto Torrit. CJ hasn't even used yet, so they can just use now into them in River. Viljack trying to trap him out, going to get Torrit. Now they just need to start cleaning up players off point. Mathis drops down. Sweet gets cleaned up as well. Thomas trying to clean it, but it ends up CJ finishing off that cap, and that is 3-3. PDF have clawed themselves back.
Yeah.
And we've got ourselves a map, Eames.
We do indeed. So it looked like it was really going TST's way at the beginning with them winning so many scrappy DM fights, but you know, their arrogance, may I even say it, in their sort of aggressive play and unwillingness to sort of do the easy things is kind of costing them at the moment, as Yak would be trying to lay some good damage down to CJ at this big door. He's going to go pretty weak, but this is a really nice bomb from Mathis, getting so much damage on him. They're all going to back out, just so afraid of PDF. Colin's going to try and make a play, but he will not getting very much, and it looks like a fairly convincing
Viljack's
midwin.
coming in though. He actually went in for a play onto Torrit, not able to clean it up, so they've sacked a lot of players trying to go in, and it is only Neon and CJ left.
Yeah, I mean, Mathis really just won them that mid there by just getting a huge bomb onto them that did so much damage. I don't think he got a kill, but he made almost every player in the combo with PDF just leave through choke, and once that happens, you kind of just lost mid.
Yeah, he managed to deal some pretty nice directs, and after that, you just saw the entirety of PDF was just hitting that S key, running away. Didn't really want to stay in a fight with all that damage on them, and they didn't have any positional play, so it's good from Colin and Viljack trying to make something happen, but it is an equal Uber situation on PDF's last. And we may be seeing a play coming out from Opti and Mathis as they do try and do something, but both of them are going to get cleaned up, and oh, Mathis skill sticks Viljack in that situation. Viljack shouldn't have died there. Like,
that is true, but it was a nice little surf from CJ there. Sorry, carry on.
No, carry on. It's perfectly fine. I get what you mean. It was a nice little surf from CJ, and in the end, PDF managed to hold that really nicely. There was a little bit of a flop jump from Opti, and he wasn't able to be as quick as Mathis, and I feel like the main play was to get that distraction and then Opti to go in, but maybe seeing Opti going... Yeah, he has decided to go for Spy. I don't know if he's coming out or if he's going to be able to do anything, as he is just right outside spawn.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision to put their Roamer on Spy rather than one of their scouts, because really on this point the scout is not too useful. Maybe they just think Opti, you know, he's the more dynamic player, he's going to make the plays. As he is, I think he's pretty much unspotted here. Could be a good time for him. He's going to decloak. He's in on CJ,
but CJ's going to hear that.
Neon.
Yeah, he does get Neon. That's actually pretty good. He may be able to get some sort of forces. They're trying to check for it again. Oh, he's managed to juke so much. He's had a little bump on Eklund's head, and he's still managing to stay alive and not being spotted. But it's very hard. Thomas actually goes down, but just what I was about to say is CJ is one of the hardest meds I've seen to try and backstab on Spy, because he does play Highlander, so he's got the ear to hear it out. And the moment he decloaked, CJ was looking at him instantly. And they're going to Uber exchange right now in Big Door. Eklund leading it. There is flashing going on TST, but not too much. Positionally, TST are not doing too great. They're going to have to back out Big Door unless they start getting frags. Like maybe the Demo and Neon does go down. Toast down as well onto Opti. They have got the high ground. Good positioning from them. This is really dangerous for PDF. If they lose too many players, they're going to actually lose the round. It looks like Thomas cleans that up, and that's exactly what's going to happen, Eames.
I mean, they kind of decided to commit like really quite a lot too early. Neon should have just been holding down the shutters, and then, you know, if it was a decent trade, they could have come in. But they kind of all just flooded in, assuming they were going to win the fight, and then they were all caught in, couldn't leave, and they ended up losing the fight. It was lucky that it went on so long. You know, the respawns would have been up had TST decided to push the last. So it is basically a reset, but it could have gone a lot worse for PDF there if they'd have lost the fight like slightly quicker.
I thought that was going to be round. I thought that was going to be round to TST, because Yeah, it started off really well for PDF. I felt like they managed to push them out of big door, but then they just started losing players, and they started losing all of that positional high ground. And once that starts happening, it's very easy for the soldiers to clean it up.
We have an interesting exchange in chat here. Yak saying that's not allowed to Neon because he was potentially using the sticky glitch. So they will Uber in here. Yak's going to try and leave after their slightly worse Uber. He will get out. A nice sticky jump. Although he's going to get pressured quite hard in lobby.
Billjack actually going for the play on to Torrit. He manages to stay alive, Torrit does. And they've lost 2-2. There's no sort of push going to come out of TST right now. It's very scrappy right now, Eemes.
Yeah, it is. It's, they're just trying to get anything to happen. It's 2 minutes, so they really want to... if they just win around here, this could be it for the whole map. They're pressuring quite aggressively from River, but Opti and Yak is still a little bit weak. And Opti will go for the sack, but it's straight into a heavy, and Thomas will also die. This is actually quite... It's decision time for PDF. Are they going to push out off this? 2 picks, 2 minutes left. It's... maybe if they get one more pick, they probably should, but... it's,
they've got that other pick. Yeah, they should definitely be coming out now. They can push them all the way out of choke. Like, Yak's probably going to stay and see if maybe he can get a frag, but Viljak's going to bomb onto him, nearly traps him out. If Mathis wasn't there, it would have been a very dangerous situation for Yak. And they've got their second, so they're going to just equal Ubers. Viljak in drop down, maybe looking for a play, but right now, you know, it's risky. That's risky because you can lose the round very easily from that play, but Macy
looks like they're going to go for an Uber trade here, or maybe just a sacrifice. Mathis is going to go in. Yak's really aggressive here. I don't really like him peeking that deep. He could easily have died. He will actually die to Viljak, so this is an opportunity for PDF now. If they could roll here, they could actually win the round. Eklund's going to go quite aggressive here. And they're probably just going to back out, but it's going to be a Uber trade. Eklund and Opti with Ubers on them. Thomas will get a frag, so it's actually... It's pretty even here, but the spawns will be just about coming in for TST, and there is a back cap on Sweet versus Toast. This is a huge 1v1 behind. Who's going to win it? They're both actually missing quite a lot, and Toast has delayed him quite well.
Oh, Toast actually wins it out, and whilst that's happening, so many TST players actually died on mid, and both meds down. I think it's going to be quite a scrappy last 30 seconds. I feel like we're in garbage time right now, and we're going to be going to a golden cap.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned the scrappiness of the last 30 seconds, but really of the entire game, Grumpy.
Yeah, yeah, it has been. It's one thing I want to talk about is the last exchange we just saw, where TST actually went in and tried to Uber exchange on Yak, and I guess it was to try and catch players out and then go back in. But I felt like having a banner or something like that would have made that play a lot more logical, but they didn't. They weren't able to get any true advantage, so it was kind of just a waste of time. I felt like there was a good idea behind it, but the execution wasn't that great.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I've got the logs up here. I'm looking at the DPM, and I'm seeing Viljak 26 for 19 and top damage by quite a long way actually. So Viljak really doing a lot for his team as the pocket soldier, I think. Although he's still only got 20% heal, so that's actually a really nice damage output from him. I would have expected Mathis to have a lot more DPM from what I was seeing from him, but Viljak, putting his team on his shoulders a little bit there. Although obviously he has taken 310 damage a minute, so he is just kind of playing very aggressive. Yeah, sorry, carry on, Grumpy.
No, it's perfectly fine. So what I was actually going to say on that is I feel like Viljak was just playing sort of how you're supposed to play pocket, and I know that's really broad to say, but he was constantly trying to create opportunities for his team, and I feel like that's why you've got that high damage taken as well, is because he is jumping in, he is taking sort of a lot of fights and trying to slow the team down, and it's the same thing with Mathis. He was trying to do the same, but I feel like Viljak was able to do a little bit more for his team, whilst Joseph, Opti and Mathis were doing their own individual works in that regards. But we're going to go straight into this golden cap between Professional Disney Fangirls and torrit.sukintoes, TST and PDF for short. And right now on this mid, Eemes, it's looking like we're just waiting for bombs right now. We're waiting for sort of creation. A lot of spam coming from both teams, but Toast takes a lot of damage. Cooling is very low, and we're going to see Opti doing a nice distraction play. Now actually opens the opportunity for Mathis to bomb in, but he's going to get cleaned up. And it looks like TST are starting to lose players. Yak's on the low ground, And they do lose Torrit as well. Swede going for a play on the CJ. CJ's just going to be able to walk away from that. And in the end, that's a full wipe on that mid Eemes.
Yeah, that was... I mean, Math is really trying to make a lot of space for his team there, but he just bombed into so many players that he got, I think, pushed back by pretty much both scouts. He didn't really get any of the nice juicy rockets off that he wanted to, so his... And I guess Opti didn't come in quite at the same time, so it meant that their bombs really weren't that effective, and the counter bombs from PDF were really pretty good. So we do have a sentry now for TST as they try and hold this last, but this could be the first map going to PDF if they execute this last push properly.
Yeah. So I think all it's down to right now is how, like, they're gonna have to. Sweer's just gonna have to focus on protecting that sentry as much as possible with the flex, and they're not really shooting at it. He's able to deny it from the demo. They're gonna keep it alive for a long time, and it's actually completely denied that Uber. They are looking to clean house right now. They do clean up CJ. Viljack gets cleaned up by some nice rockets. Toast, the only survivor, and PDF are going to wipe on last.
Well, yeah, so in that Uber, I watched Eklund walk under and kill Yak, which is basically a huge play. I mean, no demo is pretty much is a win normally, but then the thing that I didn't look at is Uber coming through top took so long to kill the sentry that they just kind of really didn't get enough done pushing the rest of the team out. So I guess that's what happens when you spend a decent amount of your Uber flashing someone underneath. You kind of neglect the top, and that's, you know, really costing PDF there.
And I think it was really good work from Sui on the Pyro just to deny all the stickies going towards the sentry. So they were able to keep it alive for a really long time, and because he didn't have any scouts trying to deal with him, he stayed alive for most of that Uber, if not all of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an innovative play there in PDF, and I actually quite like it. If you know that Yak's going to be under, then that's actually a really good way to just flush him out, kill him, and then play point. But yeah, I think that all they would have really needed to do is to have double soldier spam on entry at the same time as this demo, and that would have been a really nicely executed last push.
Just get through Sui's right clicks, and then they would have been able to win that really nicely. But right now we've got a Eagle Uber situation between mid and second, and TST are going to be looking definitely to get off the back foot and get in the driver's seat right now, as PDF did a wipe. But I don't know. I feel like both these teams are making really big mistakes that they really need to iron out for the rest of the season. But in relation to that, neither team is able to capitalize on those mistakes super quickly.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like against some of the top tier Prem teams, they're gonna find that it's going to be very hard to deal with those teams because they're going to be responding instantly, not have this little bit of, you know, flitting around trying to make the decision.
I mean, the way that you can quite easily play at this level is because both teams essentially are going to be making a decent amount of these mistakes. If you just try and like minimize the failures that you do, minimize your own mistakes and capitalize on the enemies, then that will work pretty well. So you don't really have to like positively do anything. You can just wait for the other team to mess up, but that will probably be obviously less of an effective strategy once they actually get into Prem and against teams that make fewer mistakes and will actually make their own plays that, you know, work out pretty well.
And right now it's just again back into a standard sniper battle. Really, they're just trying to get an angle for Sui and Eklund respectively, and Sui's checking big door, lots of spam just being exchanged, but no other plays trying to happen. Like, you can use a sniper as a bait. Like, you can use your sniper on one choke to make them very, like, right now Yak is all on his own in choke. If they have that information, they can just press onto Yak, you know, clear those stickies and go straight onto him. But they are a bit too preoccupied with Sui, and I feel like that's something that they should be thinking about, is maybe they can send a soldier in a different angle whilst they're trying to deal with Sui right now, and vice versa with Eklund, because there's 4 players trying to deal with the sniper on right, and no one really available on left but Opti and Yak.
Yeah, it's interesting that both teams are not putting their demo in big door. Actually, no, as they say this, Yak is going to rotate and Opti's going to hold choke. So I like this decision from them because their demo really can have a lot more impact. The stalemate actually could, you know, if he hits his shots, he can make a lot of space for his team as he's doing right now. So Swede's going to have full health peeking this choke point. He could actually get something done. He hits the shot. Both soldiers are close. But yeah, Neon will still be a choke. And actually, never mind. Eklund's going to hit the shot into Swede. They're going to trade Ubers though with Thomas. Thomas actually going quite deep, trying to get the sniper, making the flash. And he's gone behind, making a lot of space for his team. But he will actually go down. I don't really like that decision. But it's one frag is also traded. Wheeljack will go down. So it's probably going to be a reset.
Yeah, a lot of pressure actually coming out onto TST as Mathis takes a lot of damage. Toast trying to clean that up now. They're pushing really hard. Nice decision from them. They do get Colin, but I feel like PDF are doing all right. Neon peeks his head in, gets it shot at immediately. Thomas is back with Swede. They're able to push him out a big door. And oh, what a nice little shot from Eklund there. And they need to be careful not to, get Torrit's head into a bad position. As Eklund still watching that big door, but we're going to have a reset back again, Eemes. But, some good attempts at trying to capitalize on mistakes there. It was actually quite nice.
It's a fascinating tug of war here, really. Both teams, getting a little bit of pace, taking some more room into big door, and then getting pushed back, and then, at the stalemate on the other side of big door. I think one thing that, I'm going to continue to lecture you about why I don't think the demo should hold choke. And that's one reason is that there's a point there where Neon tried to pressure him from choke because he was completely alone. No one was looking at him. If he'd been a roamer there, 200 HP, he could just jump in and he would have gotten the force or the frag onto the turret and could have even got another kill. It would have been perfect. But since he's the demo, he just kind of spammed them a bit and then went back. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's... I love casting with you, Eemes, because it's nice to hear that sort of mentality on demo of changing things out of the standard, because everyone thinks the demo should just hold oh, actually, as I'm saying that, Yak actually gets a lot of damage and gets CJ as I'm talking just absolute nonsense, and Neon goes down, Wheeljack goes down as well. This is a good opportunity for TST. Opti needs to take the initiative. They haven't got any heals available to them, so they should be pushing. They should be coming out ahead, and there's not that many people there to deny them. Toast in Banana is going to get pushed out. Colin actually trapped in there as well as they try to push him up into a bad position. Colin going to go down to Mathers. Yak's going to go around the other side. Toast finds him, feels him. Not too good, but he has now been spotted out. And this is not too bad from TST. They should have been quicker. It needs to be quicker. So much quicker.
Of all the ways to clean up a team that doesn't have heroes when you do, that was probably the very messiest. They all just kind of stacked inside each other and waddled around. But Wheeljack is going to... Okay, I thought he was going to go for a sack onto turret there, but he will actually leave. He's very weak in River. Mathis might actually frag him, and they're going to... CJ has gone down to a deep Uber from Thomas into lobby. Might even get Eklund as well. They're going to back out though. Wheeljack is behind them and will go down. And Thomas is actually kind of fragging in lobby, but he needs help. Steam's going to come in finally, and they're going to actually catch out another couple of players. This could easily be the round for TST.
Yeah, they just need to put a lot of pressure in right now. Mathis is going in through main, straight onto Neo, forcing him out. Some good rockets onto him. He's going to get cleaned up by Toast, though. Torrit goes down, but Yak! Big damage from Yak! He's going to try and finish it off, and that's going to be the golden cat. And I hope they realise that the config is wrong. To TST. Yeah. So that was really well played by Yak there.
Yeah, that was
huge
crazy.
Amount of damage. Woo! Good damage.
I mean, I know that you don't play Pugs, Grumpy, but there's a certain demo man called Nasboy. He likes to play in water.
Of Nasboy.
He likes to play in water in Gully Wash last pushes, and that's exactly what Yak did. He basically just stole that copy from Nasboy's playbook and just goes in. It looks like his team is losing the push, but Demo in that position is so good. And he just gets a 3k and absolutely, puts his team on his shoulders.
Did you see Nasboy's setup at LAN at I-63? He uses really outdated gear. It's actually really funny. Me and War were talking about it on the stream. It was quite funny. But yeah, that's congratulations to TST for winning the first map. But it was so close. But I don't think it was really close just for the fact that teams are evenly matched, but because both teams were making these little mistakes here and there, not able to capitalize on advantages that were created by either team. And I just feel like coming into this, I don't want it to be one of the things where it's whoever makes the most mistakes loses. I want it to be more about who can capitalize on their opponent's mistakes, and I feel like it's not happening that much, if you get what I mean, Eemes.
Yeah, it's more, I don't know, one team makes a mistake, then the other one does. I've been informed by a truly furious Joseph or Yak that he wasn't actually in water. He was in Maine. So I'm sorry. Hand to my heart.
I thought he bombed.
Apologies. I mean, was he on point?
So yeah. What he did is he bombed over from Maine after Mathis went in, and he just went on to point. He sticked up just above the entrance to Secret, and he got a pipe and a stick on that, and got two kills, then a third. Right. And just big damage from him. It was a good play. It was a genuinely good play. Do you want to look at the Golden Cap logs, or do you want to look at the previous ones?
I'd rather look at the previous ones, to be honest. I mean,
okay.
Logs of a 10-minute game. Who cares, you know? So that was a very close map. I know that some people were predicting this would be kind of a roll for TST. It definitely wasn't. Very back and forth. But the clutchness, shall we say, of Yak's team and Yak himself really coming out strong there, as my game has crashed, I think. So I'll be...
Yeah, looking at that, I'm just going to rattle off a couple of numbers. The most important number is 7 air shots to Viljak, which is the most in the game. So congratulations to him. Just looking at the damage, though, the damage is very, very... Like, these teams are evenly matched. You've got 87 kills for TST and then 90 kills for PDF. So very, very close. 10 to 9 Uber charges. And looking at the mid fights and conversion rates on those mid fights, the first mid wasn't converted. Second mid was, and it was a bit of conversions. It was like conversions for the rest of the map, really. Like whoever won mid ended up winning the round. But I do feel like there was definitely a bit of a change in shift after the first round. I feel like once PDF kind of found their footing and way to deal with TST, they started to get a little bit better on their decision making. So it'll be interesting going into our second map, which is Snakewater. So this is going to be very down to what both Romans are going to be doing and how they're going to be starting it up. So I'm going to be definitely watching Opti and Colling during these mids.
Definitely. I mean,
is there anything you want to glean from the logs? I just rattled off numbers. That's how I do logs.
As expected, Neon getting pretty low heals, very low damage taken. It's not really just kind of watching doors for a lot of the game, which is not how I like to play demo. But it's I guess it works for his team. He lets Viljak do a lot of stuff, and Yak probably having more impact overall, but taking more heals. I would say, I don't know. Sui unexpectedly getting a questionable KD.
Yeah, it's not what we tend to see out of Sui.
It's kind of they're not too fascinating logs, I have to say. As logs go, I've seen that once.
Let's talk about what we actually saw, which was a lot of mistakes here and there. There was some really good examples of like, I think a really good one is that incredibly long amount of time it took TST to come out of Big Door. When they had their heals, they had enough players to go in. It was only Colling and Toast left, and they were trapped in. They were like Toast was spamming them, but Colling was trapped in Banana, and they just didn't go in. I felt like they should have had a bit more initiative and went in on that. Eames.
Oh, I mean that wasn't really. I mean it was kind of slightly poorly executed, but I wouldn't really call it a huge mistake because the bigger mistake they could make there was obviously going in too quickly and then getting their med like fragged. And I think they either didn't have a scout for most of it and then only had one scout. So, you know, if you only got soldiers protecting your med, you really want to take your absolute as much time as you possibly can, because otherwise it can be really easy for someone who's you haven't spotted to just get a couple rockets on your med and kill them. So, I mean, it was kind of they could have done it. The main problem with that was that they kind of just all stood inside each other as they cleared all the angles. So it meant they all took the same damage and had to heal up for like quite a long time. But the idea was all right, I think.
I just think like it should have been a bit quicker. It's just how I feel. I feel like it was. It shows that there's a shakiness on the like decision making and team coordination because it should be a lot, like you said, a lot more spread.
Mm-hmm. All right,
I'm trying to think of other examples. Yeah, like TST's push into last with the Uber exchange. It was just a bit strange where it's equal Ubers, equal players, and they just tried to do an Uber exchange and pick a player out on that. And I think they ended up losing a player as response.
I feel like TST's, particularly from the beginning, like with a lot of their like weirdly aggressive plays they were doing, they're trying to like crush the spirit of PDF. Like that first bomb from Yak, and like basically the whole first round, they just went like balls to the wall. I don't care if you have more players or whatever. I'm just going to bomb you and kill you and like, show that I'm a better DM, which was quite interesting to see. And it looked like for a little while that PDF were just going to get absolutely like stomped out of the game. But they did pretty well to come back and like show that they're not here to get rolled.
Okay, and for those just joining us, welcome to the ETF2L Season 32 Prem Qualifier Upper Bracket Final between torrit.sukintoes and professional Disney Fangirls. It's been one map on a golden cap to torrit.sukintoes, and right now we're going to be going on to Snakewater. So right now I want to get your prediction for this one. How do you feel it's going to go? Do you feel like it's going to go the side of TST or PDF?
Well,
what are you thinking?
My heart says PDF because I want to see a third map. I think this matchup is pretty interesting. My head, particularly as Snakewater is, I know it's kind of a DME map, probably even more so than Gullywash, because Gullywash is all about like rotating correctly and being kind of smart, whereas there's a lot more DM potential in this map. So I'm going to say, I'm going to optimistically say that PDF will take it let's say 3-2.
Okay, I think PDF can definitely take this back. I'll agree with you on that. I'm not going to play devil's advocate on this one, but coming into the first mid, we have got Neon a little bit quicker and Opti set up on that high ground with Mathis. They are taking a bit of spam, but you got Viljak in the kitchen, maybe looking for a play onto Torrit. Does get Yak down, so that's pretty good. Mathis actually trades and gets CJ as well, so it's all about this fight right now with the Chariot versus the Demo, but the Demo gets onto Tomas. Huge amount of damage, but Opti comes out behind, gets him, and these end up going to go down, and PDF win the first mid.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice coordinated play from PDF after that mid. I think there was a huge pipe from Neon onto Swee, and Swee was the scout with the beam on him at that point. And if he had lived for like a few seconds longer, there would have been no way of killing him. And it would have been a very easy cleanup for them. But, really nicely played by PDF to just capitalize on the smaller player, the small fragging class advantage that they had, even though they didn't have heals.
Yeah, and TST now looking to hold on to their second point. This is actually really good because they want to get the force as soon as possible onto CJ as they do have advantage. They're going to come in through grass. But is there a crits creek? Do I see a crits creek on?
It's crits on CJ, and Neon's going to be coming forward, looking to push them out. But actually, they've all hid in lobby. They know it's crits. Yak's going to walk in here. They've crits already. CJ's
missed everything. Oh no, they get Yak.
Kill Yak.
And they get Mathis as well, so that's 2 picks, but 80%, 85% onto Torrit. So they need to be super quick, or they're just going to have a Uber team barreling down on them, and it looks like it's going to be the case. With 98, yeah, that's going to be 100% for Torrit. They're still looking to press, even though they're going to be pressing into an Uber. They do get an early force from Torrit, though.
That was, it was a nice idea from Torrit to try and go forward and catch them out with the Uber because they knew they were going to get forced. But as it happened, it looked like all of PDF was going to commit, and then in fact none of them did. Only the Roma committed, or Viljak rather. And so it was actually really nice to just sort of skip out there as soon as they possibly could and force that Uber pretty much for free. Although now they do have crits, and TST know they have crits. They should be able to absolutely annihilate them when they come in, but they haven't really got much spam onto them. They're going to use onto Neon. Neon's going to get a nice sticky that doesn't actually hit. He's getting pushed quite aggressively. They're all pretty weak on PDF, but they have got a frag.
Completely separated. He's going to manage to get into spawn, but there's so much time onto the point, and that's going to be a very quick round from PDF, not giving TST any space at all.
I think really the big outplay there was Torrit ending up Ubering on absolutely nothing. Like they wanted to go in so deep and they just got absolutely nothing. It was pretty funny to watch.
I think that was really well played by Viljak. He just went in and caused such a distraction that they thought that the whole team was coming in.
Yeah.
And they were able to, they lost Viljak, everyone else went down, and I think that's what won them the round really. But right now, on this mid, really good pressure. Neon actually going down to Yak. Big bomb gone on to Colling. He gets super low. He's going to end up going down. Yak gets airclanned. It's looking good for TST. They're chasing out CJ and Toast. Sweet gets some damage onto CJ, but Toast is going to clean him up. But they're not going to give any space. They're going to get onto second, and that's going to be a mid for TST.
So you see kind of the reverse of the last mid, actually, with the med and scout being alive for PDF this time. And TST definitely decidedly winning out the mid, but Opti's actually going to hide in the corner. I don't really like this spot. It's kind of an obvious one. Eklund's going to check it. I think he sees him. He's only 140, so he should be able to get him. And Opti's must go down here, surely.
Yeah, he does.
And this should be... I mean, PDF could take this all the way to mid if they're clinical here.
Yak is actually... was very, very overextended there. Nearly got cleaned up by Toast. And it's going to be PDF taking the initiative, going through Saw. Do they still have crits, or are we on Uber now? It looks like it might be an Uber. I'm not 100% sure. It is. And they're going to clean up Yak straight away with this Uber. Now they need to barrel forward, get onto Torrit. They've still got the time to do so. Viljak is going to pause because Opti is in a good position to go on to CJ. They do get Swede. There's good barreling from PDF and completely on the back foot. A lot of damage. This is not good. Torrit's trapped in. Huge amount of damage.
There's been a really, really nice chase from PDF, just getting one frag and allowing themselves to snowball it. But it's almost the same situation as last time with Torrit having Uber and PDF trying to go for a force. Play kind of aggressively here, and they will get the force. Really nice bomb from Colling, and again we see, I mean, not so much a mistake from them this time, but TST
it's more of a force mistake, and Yak just goes in and gets cleaned up instantly. Good footwork from CJ to not take any damage during that situation. They've got a huge Uber ad. They're going to want to take it in left. They've got 90%. They're probably going to come in now. They just need their soldiers to clear up that high ground. So going to be working on Viljak. Opti actually backs out. Mathis on top of that point. CJ drops with like 90. Did he drop, or was it like 98%? That was not good from them. They should have made sure that they had that high ground covered by at least someone, as Mathis just used that to take down CJ, and they managed to hold on to this last and PDF wipe.
That's really tragic, actually. I was about to say that Yak made a huge mistake in going for that sack, but actually it works out really well because they tried to push before he got up, right, and had 6 on point to defend, which would have been a really nice play, but they just did. It was just a tiny bit too aggressive, or didn't check well enough.
They needed a soldier with them to take control of that high ground whilst they were pushing in, because they just left it open and Mathis took control of it, and that's what led to CJ dropping. And they still want to go in just with a 1-player ad. It's a little bit risky. Big bombs coming in from Viljak. He's going to get cleaned up by Opti though, and right now it's not looking good. Neon down. Eklund's going to get cleaned up as well. Tomas is the only one going down for TST. They're going to have to back out. They've lost nearly 5 players, and they're going to go all the way to mid. Not good, PDF. I don't know what they were thinking going in on that, really.
Yeah, I think they thought they were 65, right? But Toast was behind. So it wasn't actually 65, and they didn't really have much to go off. So it what looked like some quite nice initiation bombs didn't really work out too well, as we do have a nice Uber trade in Saw here. It's slightly better for CJ. Eklund's going to be chasing quite deep, but they are going to rotate back around. Mathis will die in choke. It's going to open up an opportunity for a nice fire push here. This is getting caught in through choke, and they're going to be flooding into choke here. Colling's going to go for a bomb, maybe from the right side. And CJ will actually go down to a huge bomb from Opti, but it's an absolute chaos fight.
What is going on? This is so scrappy. This has just turned into a DM fest as Colling tries to help his demo out. They're able to do so. Nice pipe from Neon. Opti's super low, and Mathis is actually going to bomb in, but he just gets himself in a bad position as well. But Neon goes down. They're going to win this just based on raw DM, but I was just about to say, I feel like PDF are a lot more organized on this versus Gully.
They're playing really aggressively with these set team plays, and I really quite like it. I think the main problem there was that CJ just got instantly crushed by a bomb from Opti, and then with Mathis coming in with respawn, he kind of just won in the fight. But they should be able to easily hold this with the high ground. Mathis is going to go very deep onto Colling. Torrit has actually gone down to some nice stickies from Neon, but CJ will also die. It's another extremely scrappy fight. It's 2v2, both scouts, and they're actually going to go to second, and it's already half capped, so this could be really, really nice for PDF here.
Yeah, they've got 2 seconds on Torrit and Yak. They have come up, so I don't think they're going to be able to get onto last. Toast is just running at him with the Boston Basher, doesn't decide to finish that off. And they have got second and all their players up. We're waiting for Opti and Tomas to join, but They're not going to be able to push on to last, and the Ubers are pretty much equal. Viljak, I think, went for a play or something. Ends up getting cleaned up, but lots of damage onto Mathis. And Yak is completely trapped out. Oh, Torrit surviving, getting onto Eklund, but this is not good. Demo is down. Colin taking up that high ground. They could maybe walk in. No, they don't really have any scouts with them, so they are going to back out. And that was an opportunity.
Like, it's crazy to see here. Both teams, like, committing really quite hard in a lot of situations, which are basically just like a straight-up team fight. Like, you know, they're going in 4v4. Yak's team went in 66 on mid for, like, pretty much no reason. They're both just kind of going balls to the wall. I mean, it's nice to see, but kind of, like, they should do it if they have, like, a small advantage and then go off of that, because sometimes there's literally just no reason for them to do it, and it ends up making them, you know, lose a whole point like I did earlier.
Yeah, and Sui is on sniper. I feel like it's just going to be a classic sniper battle right now between Eklund on the train, just popping his head up now and again, and Sui trying to come in from that left-hand side. But Viljak ends up going down to Opti, trying to make some sort of play or force. And they have got the opportunity to send Opti in, but Opti just walked straight into a trap. That would have been really good. Like, his response time was really good there. But sadly, the trap from Neon just cleans him up. And like you said, that's how Neon's been playing a lot of this game. Is when he's not moving forward, he's just watching traps. And that's what you want from your demo.
Yeah.
You can't complain about that, can you?
No, not at all. No stalemates. Just get some sticky traps up. That's all you can do.
We've got a spy boy coming in lower. He's going to have to try and not get knocked by Thomas. I love this position to hold. I really like it when teams hold here. And Viljak's actually going to go straight onto Torrit. Tries to get the backstab. Torrit turns around just to the right point. It's going to get cleaned up. And with 2 players down, the entirety of PDF need to back out. Yak posturing a bit, but Opti actually coming in, dropping straight down onto Toast. Not able to find CJ. He is going to get cleaned up, and we're back in a very stalemate, slow situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like PDF could definitely have put up a bigger fight there in that second. Like, if Neon had held like really tight to the chokes, maybe got a kill with the sticky trap or a lot of damage, and then just taken a trade that backed up, wait, and met his respawns, they could have actually held that. But I feel like Neon, that's not really the kind of thing that he's comfortable with. He's more, he's just gonna back out and maybe get a sticky trap kill here and there. But like, I don't know, he could have done a lot more if he wanted to do that.
He most certainly could have, and right now it's back at that. I'm just like, I'm annoyed. Go back to what we were dealing with before. I liked the aggression and you know, the plays that would be trying to be forced out of, you know, PDF. But right now, it's very, very stalemate. As Mathis did try and see if he could get in, but was just immediately spammed out by Viljak. And right now, how are they going to break these stalemates? Maybe they're looking at some sort of exchange on the side of PDF, as Viljak does go kind of low.
That's a huge double from Opti onto Ector Culling. Oh my god, that's crazy.
I didn't even see that.
He was sacking from window, and Opti was like on fence. Or no, I think it was on the train actually.
Oh,
I saw
that on the playback. That was meaty. Yeah. And it creates an opportunity to send some players in. Thomas just WM1s onto Neon, and they have got the force out of CJ, and the exchange is going to finish around the same time. They get Eklund as well. Some good focus and good singling out from Yak right now, as Viljak's going to try and go onto Torrit. Torrit's chasing for some reason, and he survives.
Yeah, Torrit's just following his pocket scout around, and it works pretty well there. It was just like, I mean, when you do a scout trade like that, just every now and then the medic won't be paying attention, and you just two-shot someone and get a kill. And that worked out really well for them, because they get in, they get a kill, and they get the force for free, and then they have a fully buffed scout just running around who's Ubered as well. So just a very nice, like, they get one pick and then they just go. And that was the kind of situation where you do want them to play really aggressive, because they have a small advantage to go off, and then they, you know, really capitalize on it. Yeah.
Right now on this hold though, there's not much to capitalize with that sentry being there. They're gonna have to try and deal with that as soon as possible, Eemes. And again, I hope they do so. And they do. Yak gets it very nicely. They're going to go in on right-hand side. Tomas and Yak going in. Tomas just big bombing across. He's going to get directed really nicely. But all that save coming out of Torrit as the time has been baited by Tomas. Tomas is dealing with an Ubered heavy. They're going to back out, but they've got the player advantage.
Yeah.
So Opti's high in the sky doing a nice distraction. He probably will go down, but they have got some good high ground. Spamming Toast off the point. Toast is super low, ends up going down. Eklund down as well. And that's an equalizer from TST.
The problem there, that Uber from CJ was incredibly soft. What TST did with that Uber was like bomb Yak, and they basically got 2 kills, but they had absolutely no pressure on CJ at all. But CJ kind of thought that he was under pressure, and as soon as he got Uber, pretty much popped it. And the Uber did basically nothing because they were nowhere near them. So if he'd have just like gone to that for a bit longer, they could have actually done something with it and pushed them out, and that would have been all right. But eventually, they just lose it out because the Uber did basically nothing.
Yeah, and coming into this second mid, Matthias, dealing a lot of I prefer the name Matthias, that's a cool name. But Mathis, otherwise, says, shut up, Grumpy, gets straight onto CJ, big bomb coming out of him. Now we've got Toast trying to win the 1v1, but the Rockets are too strong. From those Rockets!
Yeah.
My God!
Matthias is an absolute tank.
Matthias. That just sounds like such an epic name, but Mathis, on the other hand, is an amazing soldier, and that was a really good play from him.
Torrit has gone to second without a scout here for a few seconds. If Bojack had actually known that, he could have forced quite easily, but nope, Bojack doesn't go for it. He had a chance to, but he will not. And it's, really TST, I wanted to call them TSC, but TSC looking like they're really getting back into this game with the Yak taking a very deep Uber in there. We'll get the sentry down, but not much else. Bojack taking some good damage.
But they've got some really good pressure here, as they do try and deal a lot of damage onto that Eames. And oh my God, Sui is so low. Toast is just getting singled out once again. He's going to end up going down. Torrit and Tomas, the only ones left. Eklund just dodging everything. And that's going to be the second round to TST. Yeah. Super quick round there.
I mean, for the first 10 minutes, PDF kind of had a nice stranglehold over the game where it was like they didn't really do anything that they were uncomfortable with, right? They were just making standard pushes. If they lost a few players, they would leave and this kind of thing. But suddenly, TST kind of have remembered that they've got really nice DM and really nice sort of playmaking abilities, and they're just going a lot more aggressive and actually executing quite well on these pushes, and it's working much better for them. So they're kind of taking the game by the scruff of the neck. This fourth mid is actually really crucial for the game, as Bojack will go in really deep to the demo. He's going to get some good damage. Yak is probably going to go down. He will die. Bojack will die though, and Hector Colling, and all the soldiers are dead on the server actually, almost. TST with some kind of questionable positioning here. Really, actually, how does Neon die there? He just gets absolutely left alone.
He should not have died.
It's a 3v3, and it's with the scout class. Will we win it out? But the soldiers are traded with the scout, and it's essentially just an ulti Jero with scouts. But there's a smaller. Oh, Torrit will die at 99. Oh my God, that's huge from Eklund. Wow, what a mid fight.
Tomas is still alive. Oh my God!
What?
Wait, what? That should not be a thing. As they do manage to clean up Torrit. Oh, CJ.
Oh,
CJ
no.
and Eklund. What? What?
That's crazy.
None of that made any sense. That should not have been the case.
I mean, it's the same thing we're talking about with so many mistakes from both sides. Neon should never be dying there to he was just completely isolated for no reason. I mean, that was pretty unlucky by Torrit that he didn't have Uber and then gets 2-shot by Eklund. Then somehow, I didn't even see, Yak just rolls out and goes in absolutely hugely deep and kills CJ with a huge bomb. So, I don't know, it's crazy stuff here.
Yeah, it's so scrappy. That should not have happened in any way, shape, or form. I think it's almost like they let their guard down around Tomas, and Tomas just immediately took that and ran with it and managed to get Viljack, and then people just started dropping left, right, and centre.
We're back in the danger zone for PDF. Basically, they've got to try and make a play. They're back on their second, and both soldiers are actually going to come in for the fourth. So CJ's underneath. He hasn't used it. That was a huge dodge, actually. Oh my God, that was crazy. CJ's normally I give him some stick for hopping quite easily, but he didn't use. Opti even gives him the question mark. I think it was like a splash bug from Opti, and CJ just completely BM'd him, didn't use. That's crazy from CJ. And They're going to get
counter-sack.
absolutely nothing out of it, so I don't know why I'm even saying anything. We're back to normal.
That's our job. We're casters. We say stuff.
That's true.
That's
I was
very
hyping
true.
up, but we're just all it contributes to is a reset. I was like,
Yeah, but if Colin was able to get a decent counter sack in, that would have been very, very, very good. But do I see Battalion's backup and Conch on the side of TST?
I think you do.
That's going to be interesting. Let's see what they try and do with that. Maybe some sort of players in the work, as Eklund takes a lot of spam, as Opti is trying to get that up as much as possible. I can't actually see the levels, so we're just going to assume at some point they're going to have it. But this is really good. I love the Uber exchange into banner pop sort of play. I find that always works really nicely for quite a few teams. We saw Eemes do it quite a bit, as well as Josh in previous seasons, and I want to see more of that. I do think it's a really good play.
Yeah, particularly effective when you have two banners, not just one. We could even see something I used to like to do back in the day, was get your pocket to go banner, builds on the banner, and then just sacks, and he basically has 500 HP, and it's so easy to get the med when you have 500 HP. So that's another possibility, but who knows?
We will see. As right now, I still think Opti and Mathis are just spending their time trying to get their banners up and get this play going. I've got a lot of anticipation for this, because I feel like if they do manage to do something really nicely off this, it's going to be amazing, because they're going to have damage resistance, lifesteal, and movement speed all at their disposal after this Uber exchange. So they just need to find an opportunity to do it. I think they may, if CJ's aware, he should be playing very passively and expecting an Uber exchange to come out at some point.
And what's interesting really is that the onus is obviously on PDF to do something here, but they're just sitting pretty, you know? They're just waiting. They don't seem to have any particular plan. To be fair, they could grind down the timer and then they would have 3 minutes, so they could, take everything on the next mid fight. But I know, I feel like that would probably make them pretty uncomfortable. They kind of want to try and get something done in this stalemate. They're not looking to at the moment.
Yeah, it's very, very slow. I feel like they're still waiting. They seem to be spamming very, very liberally, so I do feel like they haven't quite got their banners yet to make this play happening. But the more they wait, the more risk they have of having something happen to them. They're not going to stay complacent forever. You've got Viljack on sniper. He's currently watching from Cheese, seeing if he can pick out one of those soldiers. It could actually make everything very difficult. But they're looking to do the Uber exchange now, so they both have it. They're on to CJ. The Uber exchange has happened. They're backing out. They're doing exactly what I was hoping. They're a little bit trapped in though. This isn't great. This isn't perfect, but they do manage to get everyone out and get a frag. But this is it. They got a 2 now. This is the time.
Oh wow! It's a huge shot from Viljack and the Torres, so this is actually pretty nice. But they could just flood in here, and the sniper will go down. He's completely useless. Swede's going to be in from in front onto CJ. CJ's going to go down, and it's actually a huge collapse from TST.
It still worked. I hope it still worked. Neon's actually dealing some good spams. Toast is going to come round.
Oh my god!
Nearly
Toast,
Mathis!
no!
Mathis with the dodge. Opti getting up Eklund. That's probably the biggest threat right now to them, as Neon is super low. And they managed. It didn't work perfectly, but it worked.
Really, that pop was so bad from CJ because the reason being that Eklund was full HP and CJ was full HP, and they were against a single soldier, so they had such a great opportunity to milk it. Could have milked it for like 3 or 4 more seconds, or even just not popped. And in the end, they tried to chase really hard because the Uber was still better, but it wasn't that much better. So, yeah, they could have. Eklund ended up dying after the Uber, which was pretty bad for them, and that essentially has lost them this fight.
Right now, if they're in, they're currently in the lead, TST, so they probably can just try and do the exact same play again, but execute it well. But they do need to be aware that Toast is actually now on his main. He is playing Spy. He nearly bumped Swee there. So they're going to have to be very careful, as Toast is going to try and make some sort of play. But they do have Uber. Toast is coming up behind. And we may see you know, we've got these two different plays. Toast manages to just completely sing by. He's going to go on to Torrit. He gets the pick onto Torrit. And now things are good for PDF.
And he gets Thomas as well. Oh my god.
No way.
And he hasn't even died. What? How did he even get out?
Just
Toast
walks out a shot.
Toast is an absolute genius. I'm so glad that I have Toast on my Highlander team for Copenhagen, as well as CJ, so I'm kind of feel bad that I've been shit-talking him so much. Sorry for the language. Anyway, PDF are going to be coming in second and we're taking it pretty much for free. Yak has almost gone down, but Viljack will actually kind of feed. And Opti's got the banner off, so they're going to go really aggressive, going to get the foots, but they might be caught in here. Eklund's going very deep. He's going to catch out Yak, but will they be able to get anything else? Probably not.
They're actually going to get collapsed on by Thomas. Wants to take this forward. They've got to be careful because Colin's taking that high ground. Mathis does deal some good damage and gets him cleaned up. Neon down as well. There's some good exchanges. Mathis comes back in, deals some really good damage. CJ, get out of there. You're going to die. But he manages to get out at the last second. Eklund saving his med just by applying that pressure, being that wall they can't get through. But things are in advantage for TST. They have got that little bit of Uber ad, so they're probably going to want to play off that.
Yeah, we see another scrappy DM fight that just goes really, really well for TST. They're going to be coming in here with a decent advantage. Well, it's only 20%, but they can get something done off this. Yaks can go deep, locking a lot of players in spawn. There's no stickies on point, which is really bad. Thomas is going to start capping. Neil's actually defending it now. It's a nice point from Actor Colling. At 99, CJ's actually got the Uber, and they're going to Uber into them. This should be good. You could get a lot from this if they play it properly, but
they dropped so many players. The double battle strat is working really well for TST, and they're just going to be able to cap it out. Even though the Uber was done on the left-hand side, there was 3 players just trapped in by the bannered soldiers, and they get cleaned up so quickly.
Yeah, I feel like so many of the Ubers from PDF are only on Eklund, and they're popped really early on Eklund, and he just kind of tries to chase people around. But if you don't have like a soldier or a demo in them, it's really hard for the scout to actually like properly chase people unless they're really caught in, and that means that they get so much less from the Ubers than they could. And kind of cost them a lot. And now they're really in the danger zone. You know, they've got 4 minutes to get 2 more rounds, and they're going to need to do a lot on this mid. The both soldiers are going to go really aggressive here. Good damage onto Torrit. He's not actually going to go down, and they're going to lose 3 players for it. Only Mathis dying. So that bomb was like almost got enough damage to actually frag out, but now they've pretty much just lost the mid. And this game is slipping ever further out of reach for PDF. Grumpy.
Yeah, I was going to say there's only 4 minutes left. And unless they, you know, if they were able to wipe and get things rolling in their advantage, it would have been really, really good for them. The double bomb coming out of Viljack and Calling was really nice. They just weren't able to connect it with anything, which is the sad thing. But they did get a lot of distraction play for their team. But well handled by TST. They have got this full Uber ad, and they're going to be taking it in through right now. Is there times like level 2 sentry for Toast? He really shouldn't be building that, as actually Eklund able to deny it. It's going to get cleaned up. They don't want to let that. Yeah, if that went to level like sentry level 3, that would have just gone down a lot quicker. But Thomas baiting point. Mathis trying to just be a huge distraction actually onto CJ to make things good for this team, as Torrit did go down. There's only 2 players left. Mathis dodging everyone for a little bit, but he's end up going to go down. And the only player left is Opti. Can he do something? He tries to pressure onto point. Going to get cleaned up. TST failing that push, but wasting a lot of time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we see the contrasting styles between the two medics and Uber popping there. Torrit tried to milk for quite a long time, actually, with them just trying to kill the pyro at the shutter before even using. And that was actually, I thought it was going to be quite good for them to, you know, have a much longer Uber in the end. But they all took so much damage during, like, as they killed the pyro, that after the Uber, they were all so weak that they just kind of got cleaned up. Couldn't really do much, so probably an overmilk there. As PDF are going to try and dry push into mid here, but they have lost 2. Nice trap from Yak. Neon will get a frag, but it's really not too much they can do. And there's also a scout in the back cap, so TST probably just flood in here and take second.
Yeah, it's Opti and Mathis just barrel down on poor Viljack. He's not going to be able to stay alive. And Opti actually taking up that high ground, going to get pushed off it very quickly. But his team is now coming in, and they're just about to get Uber now, so they do get it. Mathis trying to release some of his god tier rockets, not able to do so, but he's going to trap out Neon. Neon's going to get cleaned up by Yak in the end. This is probably going to be the last round of the match.
CJ got a sword, actually got it. Wow, that's huge, but he's got the equalizer out. Actor Colling, he doesn't even flash him. Jesus, didn't Uber anyone there. TST is just going to come straight back in.
Nah, this is not good. They're going to get pressured off the point. Eklund comes down. Neon tries to do something. Manages to get Mathis. No. If he landed that pipe, he would have got both of them. But GG's are being called in chat. We've got 1 minute 30 left. I feel like TST have taken it. Congratulations to them. It is garbage, but that started off so well for PDF. Like, the first round was so quick, and then everything started falling apart, and TST started getting in the driver's seat, and there was nothing they could do.
I think after... There was one... I can't remember which one it was, but there was a certain, like, DM fight that TST won, where it seemed like, oh, something just clicked in their heads, and they just realized, you know, if we play, like, play aggressively, and, like, don't actually feed players while we're doing it, then we will just win the DM fights because they have probably the far superior DM. Well, maybe not far superior, but definitely as a team they are better. So yeah, they just kind of stopped like playing PDF's game and started playing their own game, and that worked out really, really well for them.
Okay, who won the previous match? It was TST, wasn't it, or PDS?
This is the series over.
Yeah, this is the series over. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
I can't remember off the top of my head. As they are Ubering in on the right hand side, trying to keep themselves, you know, being valiant to the end, and PDF are going to push them off point. You know, they're giving us a good show right now, and they are able to get that cap with 20 seconds left. It's going to be the end of the game, but that was a really, really good situation from them. Comeback being said in chat. It is impossible, but yeah, that's going to be the end of that. We should probably just move straight over to logs and have a quick browse for them as the last 10 seconds play out.
Let's do it. Right, so not too unexpectedly, Eklund getting very high DPM, but Eklund got 31% healers. That's just insane for a scout in Snakewater. And I mean, you see so many of his Ubers. He's popped and he's like kind of vaguely near the enemy team. You might get one player, but if there was just a demo taking the Uber, it could jump into them and catch a few players out. It would go so much better. But it almost never was. But Eklund having to do way too much and not really able to.
Yeah, I feel like it was like Bojack really plays a very, very roamery pocket, and I also feel like Neon kind of aren't really part of the combo as much as like Eklund is their main caller. So I feel like you, as a med, you tend to gravitate to healing the main caller as they're commanding everything.
Yep.
But 31%, that's a huge amount of heals.
Yeah.
That is a huge amount of heals. And I've got to say, Mathis played so well. He just got activated. Like that mid where he just pounded everyone was beautiful. His rockets, just really good directs and a really decent amount of damage from him.
I mean, 29 for 13 is really not a soldier KD that you would ever see.
No, that's a scout. That's like what you expect from a scout, not a soldier at all.
Yeah, he's got the top KD on the server. That's crazy. Top kills and top KD. Anything else you want to say, Grumpy?
Yeah, it was just, you know, all mid conversions. Don't really need to talk about that. Yeah, let's just go straight on to the interviews. I think that would be the best thing to do. I don't like leaning on logs too much. So joining us, we have Thomas, Torrit, and Yak. How you doing, boys?
All right.
Not too bad.
How does it feel, Yak, to finally, after seasons and seasons of trying, to finally have made Prem?
Finally got a good team. Yeah. Feels
To
good.
be fair.
It's also an interesting season of Prem.
Care to elaborate on that?
It's just not as good as last season.
You say that like every season, though.
Yeah, everyone says that like every season. Just everyone says, oh, it's not as good as last season. But coming on to that, so Yak, I assume you were the main caller for your team?
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming into that game as a whole, this can be open to anyone. How are you feeling going against PDF? Because they were your old team for starters, Yak, and they were very sort of they've played with each other for a long, long time, and you know, you guys kind of the dark horses in the situation, not hugely, but big names, but not a lot of history behind yourselves.
I wouldn't say we were the dark horses at all, but I'm feeling good about it, yeah. Like, I I think that we've had better scrim results than they have, and I think that I wouldn't say we were the dark horses at all going into that game or the playoffs. Like, I expected to win both games. I'm glad we did, and I'm glad that the games today were really good. Like, they were fun to play.
Yeah, I think
According
we have
to TF2
more.
metrics, you guys were not favored. You were unfavored.
Yeah, you were
Team
unfavored.
metrics, to be fair,
Because
it's
we're a brand new team.
not very good.
TF2
Yeah,
metrics
just
isn't based on
data.
skill.
Yeah,
it's based
TF2
on
metrics
points.
is mine is fucked because I played Div 2 last season as scout. Like, my personal ones, and then I guess there's other people who've got their metrics fucked.
My TF2 metrics is fucked because I'm bad. It's not fair.
Alright, guys, this is a Christian's dream. Please. My ears. Enough of the swearing.
Shit, I swore. Sorry.
God damn it. But yeah, I was more referring to like the metrics and stuff like that. The names on your team, like Mathis, yourself, Yak, Sui as well coming back, really nice. Tomas, you've been around Div 1 for the past 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons now. It's been a long time.
I haven't.
Really?
And he's only
No.
12 years old. Can you believe it?
I met Tomas.
He hasn't
played-
even done his
you.
GCSEs.
I've played one complete season.
I swear you've been playing a lot more than that. You play a huge amount of pugs.
I play a decent amount of pugs. I just don't get teams. I don't really have the commitment.
He's going to
But
leave
it's
in
changed
week
this
2
season.
and the team's going to die.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
So what was that? Murmurs of the team dying already? Come on, boy. You
Yeah,
can do it.
yeah. Geordie predicted it, so it has to happen.
That's fair. But yeah, more importantly, so being a new team, how was kind of slotting everything into place for you guys? How was that all in all?
Oh, sorry?
So as you guys are a new team, did everything kind of slot into place straight away?
No.
No.
Torrit, Yak, and I have very conflicting views on how to play the game, and it took.
Did you say Torrit, Iron Yak?
I'm retarded. I'm thinking about something else. So yeah, Yak and I have very contrasting ideas on how to play the game, and it took a lot of time to reconcile that.
It's still happening. Like, there's some games that we play.
Yeah.
So there's some games where I play where probably the thing I say most is, Torrit, wake up. And then...
It's true.
Yeah. But most of the time it's fine.
I think he just got his foot in his mouth in those games.
Well, I firmly have my foot on Torrit's head.
Ooh. Yes. Please.
Okay.
Please.
We have belatedly been joined by CJ and Toast, so welcome. Commiserations for your loss there, but how are you feeling about the loss, and are you feeling confident for your next Prem playoff game?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we played pretty well today, considering we probably should have won. There were just some moments where we beefed a little bit, and it's been a bit of a rough couple of weeks. Really playing again. We've only been playing the past couple of weeks, and we were trying different classes, swapping things around, and then this week we were like, okay, let's go back to basics. So I don't think we got outclassed today. There was definitely the possibility for us to win it. So yeah, we're kind of happy moving into the next game.
Fair enough. Toast, any thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much so. It's along the lines of what CJ said. We know we've definitely we knew we were hoping to be a close game, and that was what it was. Although we wanted to edge it, but we're proving pretty steadily after we moved to this lineup. We got last time we played Jack's team, we got destroyed. So from that to this, then we're improving. So yeah, pretty confident moving into the next game.
Fair enough.
I want to know what happened in the very early game on Gollywas, because the first 10 minutes were terrible for you guys. So what went wrong there?
Classic professional Disney Fangirls beef, I think. But we just kind of had to wake up, I think, and adjust. So I think CJ, I can't really remember what happened.
I think it was the soldiers caused us problems at the start.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, you kind of play against a team in the warm up, and then when you play a team in the official, obviously they play slightly differently. and we just weren't very quick in adapting. So we just, like Toe said, we just had to wake ourselves up, and once we started playing normally, then we were okay.
Yeah, like after the first mid where we won pretty convincingly, like we forgot that we were playing against Jack, and then he jumps in as we push second and kills CJ and someone else. Can't remember.
I killed the scout, the demo, and the med.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
That kind of. After that, we just were like, kind of readjusting and remember, oh, this is Jack team. Let's play appropriately. So yeah.
Nice. I feel like during, especially the first game, you were evenly matched, but I feel like a lot of it was there were a lot of mistakes that need to be ironed out by both teams. Were you guys able to spot when you guys were making mistakes? Do you kind of have a rough idea of what you're going to iron out going into the season, Yak and Torrit and Thomas, and going into your next game, CJ and Toast? Are you going to iron out any of the little mistakes? I'll ask TST first. So Yak and the boys, got an answer for that?
Yeah, we definitely have made a lot of mistakes, and we know exactly where those mistakes were, and we know how to fix them. It's just most of our mistakes are just communication errors, and again, half the team being fast and half the team being slow. So they're very easy mistakes to fix. We just haven't got around to fixing them yet.
Yak, do you want to say what you posted?
I said that the mistake is Torrit. Torrit's just a mistake.
I'm sure my parents think that as well.
Moving swiftly on, CJ and Toast.
I think the mistake was me dropping on Snake last, and we could have made it 2-0, and that would have been a lot more easy for us. I don't know, and then again, like pushing full ad, like we wiped, was it the Golden Cap? And we had Uber, and we had some really good pushes, and we just didn't do that one. It's just little moments like that, I suppose, when the going gets tough. I think like post Uber, we need to, I don't know, we just need to kind of like iron out our post Uber fights, like we were talking about it earlier. That when Ubers are over, we just need to make sure that we have enough people in the right positions to take advantage of it.
Because I love my old team, I want to give some advice.
Alright, let's hear it.
You need to just take more initiative. Like, you know that stalemate on Snake for ages? We just went and got banners, and it created something. It's just
we knew you were going to do something, but we were like waiting for you to do something, and then that's why we went sniper. And it would have worked out okay because we killed Torrit, but it was again like once we Ubered, we weren't in the right positions afterwards. We knew you had buff and a battalions, so we were prepared. It was just we weren't we weren't organized enough to deal with it once we had an advantage.
That's fair.
Can we expect to see more of the double banner strat? Is that a thing, or is it just something you busted out?
It's something we tried today. We're doing it more. We're going to do it more.
Are we?
Torrit, you're not main calling. Shut up.
We're doing it just without you, Torrit.
As soon as you're gone to Hungary for a week, like new med, you're cut. Gone. Bye.
I'm gonna get PTSD.
One question I've got with that double banner strat is, my only question is, it takes such a long time to set up.
We had a long time. We had a lot of time to spare.
Yeah, I know. It's just I feel like maybe going against some of the other teams that will be playing Prem, they won't give you that sort of space. So is it something that you guys are looking to do? It's not going to be always part of your playbook, or is it something you're just going to spice in every?
It could very well be like part of our playbook. There's no reason that like at least one banner shouldn't be run. Because if they play, the only reason it took so long for the banners to get up was because we could only charge the banners of 24 damage splashes. If the other teams are aggressors, like we only need about 400 damage, so about 4 rockets for each banner. Like it doesn't take that long to charge a banner.
Yeah, I generally don't have any other questions from here. I'm kind of clutching at straws. Eemes, Beta, any more questions?
I have a question slash a
Oh no, an exhortation. Are you going to change your team name at any point, or are we stuck with this?
Is that going to professional Disney Fangirls? Or?
No. Well, maybe.
But it depends
but
if the team
it's-
does or
it's-
not.
It's up in the
going
air.
to-
It's up in the air.
We're not allowed to change our name. It's a legal thing, I'm sorry. Seal would come to our house and murder us if we change the team name. It's been like that for like 5 years now.
We've been approached by a sponsor, so you might be seeing a team change.
I can't
a
tell
name
you
change
any
soon.
more than the fact that it's Soldier Boy.
Cool. That's it. I'm done.
We need to
Peter?
crank it.
You do indeed.
Okay, I'm calling it. Thank you everyone for joining us at EGF2L Season 32 Prem Qualifiers. We're going to go to shout-outs now. So, CJ, any shout-outs?
Yeah, just shout out to my team, to Yak, Torrit, Thomas' team, and to you guys for casting. Thanks for covering it.
No worries at all. Toast.
Yeah, shout out to production and my team and Yak's team. And congrats on the win.
Thomas?
Shout out to Nakari, she's a rat.
Torrit?
Well, I'd like to shout out the enemy team for giving us a good game, and my mum for coming into my room just now. And to Hugo for being a saucy bugger.
Nice. And Yak, finally.
Yeah, shout out to my fan club. So Troy, Ascend, you know who you are. And shout out to my old team, Disney Fangirls. Love you guys. I really want to see you guys in Prem. And yeah, shout out to production. Thanks for casting. Sounded like it went pretty well.
It was good fun. Eemes?
Shout out to the teams, and shout out to Nevo and Nasboy and Classy. That's it.
Alright. Well, I'd like to shout out production, TFTV, ETF2L, and everyone involved in making this game happen. You, chat, lovely as always, making me question my existence on this planet. And more importantly, Lucky and all the boys that I play D-mixes with. Love you guys. And yeah, I'm done with that. So this has been ETF2L Season 32 Prem Qualifiers. It was between torrit.sukintoes and Professional Disney Fangirls. It's turned out to 2 maps to Sucking Toes, so congratulations for that. But we will see Disney Fangirls back for another game very soon. Do we know who that's against?
Not yet.
Okay.
Frenchies.
Well, it'll be a French team, won't it? Just we don't know which one. But yeah, so I've been Grumpy Coy. I've been joined by Beta on production and Eemes as my co-caster. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you later.